Hey guys, Brandon Dawson here from the Tribe of Christians. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Urgent warning to those in two specific areas, the West Coast and the East Coast. I believe these things are going to be connected. If you're in California and near the Bay Area, San Francisco, pay attention to this. If you're in New York City, Eastern Coast, areas of New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston, Baltimore, pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. So again, two specific areas that I'm focusing on: California region and also the East Coast, New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston, Baltimore. If you guys have any family members in those areas, all right, number one, watch this video all the way through so you understand the context and the details and the warnings that I'm putting out. And number two, pray about it. Ask the Lord to reveal the truth to you, validate it for you. Number three, share this with any family members, loved ones in these areas so that they can prepare for what is coming. Over the last month, I believe over the last 3 to 4 weeks now, beginning in July 8th, I've had a reoccurring vision in dreams, a reoccurring pattern that has been occurring. And I believe it's all connected, and a lot of it is already starting to come to pass. So I need to give you guys some context as to what is happening in order to understand what is coming next. So this current cycle, this current pattern that I'm in right now goes back to July 8th of 2025. A dream that I had, a specific dream that I had concerning earthquakes, volcanic activity, flooding, tsunamis, you name it, that type of thing, that situation that's going on here. Started in July 8th. This year, 2025, and it is connected specifically to warnings that I was given last year on the 23rd anniversary of 9/11 concerning specifically the areas of New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston, Baltimore, that East Coast. But there's things that are also coming that are going to be happening on the West Coast as well. So I've got a little clip here. Instead of just repeating everything, I'm going to go ahead and share that clip. This was published July 8, 2025. It's on all of our social media channels as well as our website, tribeofchristians.com. You can check it out for your own reference at a later time. Now, the dream, the way that it started off was I was in New York City, but again, this might apply to other areas. It could very well. But at least from my perspective in this dream, I was in New York City, and I was on a bus. I was crossing a bridge. I don't really know the specific bridge. I just know that I was on this bus crossing over a bridge. I can look over and see the ocean, and I can look and see the Statue of Liberty. And when we started off on this bridge, it was completely normal situation. There was no alarm, no storm, nothing happening. And then out of nowhere, it happened very quickly, and it happened within maybe a few minutes. The ocean began to rise severely, just very quickly and very severely. The waves started increasing and becoming massive and just started rocking as if a storm was hitting. And then before we know it, we could not escape. The flooding had gotten so bad and just continued to rise. And the really weird thing about this, at least how it began, is I was subconsciously aware of the floods that are occurring in Texas. So I was thinking of the floods. I was thinking of what happened with the river and how just in a matter of minutes it rose quickly. This is what it felt like. I didn't see a massive tidal wave, that type of nature. What I saw was kind of resembling a flash flood, but just the ocean just massively going up and increasing in size. And then the next thing I know, we had no escape. Our bus actually slid off the road and going into the water. And I remember thinking and feeling, my life flashed before my eyes, and I just believed and felt that I was about to die. I was going to die. I was going to drown. Immediately trying to get up in the bus, trying to get to these exit windows, these emergency windows, these emergency latches to try and get a window or a door, something open to try and escape. But the pressure of the water was just way too massive, and we just couldn't get out. Now, you would think it would stop there, but it didn't. I had this dream reoccurring all night, the entire night, from the time I went to sleep to the time I woke up. It was like, it just felt like a form of torture because it was just over and over and over and over. And each time, it was the same nature, same magnitude, just different perspectives. But it was just horrific. Now, the dream kind of shifted, and the second time it repeated. What happened was this time I saw a massive earthquake happening. This was somewhere, now in the dream, I was trying to comprehend what was happening. I didn't see specifically where this earthquake was happening, but I saw this massive earthquake that was happening. And then in another portion, or in a second cycle, or a reoccurring emergence of the dream, I even saw massive glaciers that were breaking off in the north that were causing this massive levels of rising in sea level. So I don't know exactly how this thing happens or occurs. This is just what I experienced or felt in the dream. So the second time I was back in the bus again, going over the bridge. And then this time I could see a massive earthquake that hits, and it impacts, causes this tsunami, but not necessarily like a 500-foot tidal wave. It just causes, in a very short amount of time, the water to massively increase. And then again, when the dream repeated another time, I saw a glacier that was breaking off and causing massive levels of seawater to rise. All right, so again, that was published on July 8th of 2025. Now, fast forward 3 weeks later from that date, I have a second vision on July 23rd, 2025. This time it wasn't through a dream. I was wide awake, occurring about 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. What happened was, about an hour ago, my wife and I were in the mall. I was getting ready to take her to work. We were having something to eat. And we were standing in line getting ready to make our purchase. And out of nowhere, as we're standing there, this happened to me as if it was literally happening in real time. I began to feel the ground violently shake, just horribly shake from side to side. And I could not keep my balance. And I was going to reach to grab a hold of something. And then it was very bizarre. It was as if a massive earthquake was happening. And then just like that, it was gone. And I realized that this was a projection. This was a vision. It was not happening in real time. It was really off. So I have never experienced anything quite like this in this type of a vision. After this happened, I tell my wife what just occurred. Of course, she's asking me what's wrong because I'm a little unstable. And I tell her, I said, it felt like a massive earthquake just happened. I think there's an earthquake that's coming. A major earthquake is coming. And then I hear 6.7 magnitude, 6.7. And then after that, I hear 7.3. So I'm projecting that if this is true, this is taken quite literally. A massive earthquake is coming. Probably they're going to say originally, they're going to announce maybe like a 6.7. And then it's going to be upgraded after the damage is assessed to a 7.3 or even a 7.2. Now, that projection, that vision that I had on July 23rd, again, 3 weeks to the day after the July 8th dream, is connected to a prophetic word, a vision, a dream that I shared over a year ago on September 11th of 2024, having to deal specifically with catastrophes, things coming on the northeast side of the United States, the East Coast, New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston, Baltimore, those things. And so I put out that warning over a year ago. The Lord warned me and told me that there would be a specific sign that would occur to indicate when these things would happen, and it would be through a sign of an earthquake. And this thing would occur in the United States. All right, so 6 days later from that publishing, July 23rd, we have that 8.8 earthquake striking Russia, followed by several different aftershocks of earthquakes around the Pacific Ring of Fire in those areas as well. and we get 6 active volcanoes erupting within days apart in Russia, along with other volcanic activity, earthquake activity. The earth is literally shaking right now. And so that happens also with massive tsunami warnings and flooding all across the Pacific area. And then I see this report put out today, several news outlets reporting on this. Alaska's capital orders evacuations as record glacier flood looms, right? This is having to deal with the area of Juneau, having to do with the Mendenhall Glacier, which is causing a massive, I believe caused 16, 17 feet of rising floodwaters in that area. All right, so why today? Why the urgent warning that I'm putting out here? Because last night, Tuesday night, right around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I had another earthquake vision. Just like the last time, I was wide awake. I was laying in my bed. I wasn't asleep. I wasn't dreaming this. I literally felt this as if it was literally physically occurring. And so the last time, on July 23rd, I felt a forward and backward motion, going forward and backward, pulling like this. Last night, I felt a much bigger duration or type of earthquake. This time I felt a side-to-side motion, going from left to right, a pull and a push going this way, a swing. And this one felt just longer duration. So what this tells me, and I believe that this is probably the one. This is probably the one, the sign that is coming. I believe it's going to hit. My guess is probably California, that San Francisco Bay Area. And just like I've been hearing the other times, again, hearing 6.7, 6.8, and then 7.2, 7.3 in those ranges. And so when this hits, and this earthquake actually happens, it is going to cause damage. And the purpose is to serve as a sign and a warning to the nation, specifically our northeast coast, New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston, Baltimore, all those areas. Because, again, this goes back to several prophetic visions and words that I put out that I've called the Northeast Coast Prophecy, specifically targeting New York City. So, again, last year, having that dream on September 11th of 2024, just before I see massive catastrophic events happening, I was warned to watch for the sign of the earthquake, that the earthquake would be the sign that these things are coming. So I'm going to ask that you guys just pray about this, that you guys prepare. Hopefully, most of you have been watching. You're diligent. You've already been doing everything you can. My wife and I, we left New York City 2019. We left that area because we knew massive things were coming. So anyways, guys, again, all this stuff on our social media channel, our website. Questions, comments, and concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Just pray. Pray, ask the Lord what to do, how to prepare. And then because this is only the beginning, major things are on the way. So anyways, guys, as always, God bless you. Keep running your race. Keep fighting the good fight of faith wherever you never lose hope and never, ever, ever give up.